Hi, Drew.
Hi, Simon. Welcome to my stand.
Yes, it's amazing.
Thank you very much. We do our best.
I said to you yesterday on the phone, didn't
Yes,
I, that I was going down the bookies to make a bet that Drew would be here this year at the Business Vision Live.
Always.
And that you'd be in the prime position yet again. How do you keep doing this year on year?
I've got a great relationship with the Revolution guys. A couple of years ago, I did some speaking for them at their preview event in February. Tell people how to become a good exhibitor, what you can take away from an exhibition, how to best present your stand. So they made me their preferred graphic partner, which was brilliant. And I've helped a few clients here to today's event, help them get their stand set up and help them communicate what they're doing in an effective way.
Yeah. So what is it you do, Drew, with the stands? You know, because it's quite a specialist area, isn't it?
You know, the difference between exhibiting stands and something like a corporate brochure or a website is websites are quite time critical because people live this fast-paced life. But with exhibitions, it's even more time critical because delegates are on their feet, they're walking through, they're out of the office, they haven't got as much time as they think they have. So your message has to communicate in 4 seconds. And if you're not doing that effectively, if they don't get what you do in that time, then they're going to walk past.
Wow.
So you've got to capitalise on that time. So your stand has to be not just informative, but eye-catching and powerful from a branding perspective as well. So I help clients achieve that.
Yeah, has to have impact.
Yeah.
And you've won awards for this kind of work.
I've won awards for lots of my graphic design, but packaging design as well, direct mail marketing. The last 4 or 5 years have been very good for me in the awards arena. So it just shows that creativity and building people's brands can be as rewarding for those companies, for me as well as a designer. You know, it's just helping people understand that there's value in design. Because a lot of people have been skeptical over the year and, you know, think just having a website is enough to get their brand out there. But a website's no good unless you're directing traffic to it. So a really good focused bit of targeted direct mail can lead to more traffic to your website and that sort of thing. So and I think there's great value in design and it really does help build brands. You think if Apple didn't have a brand, how successful would they be? You know, they wouldn't exist. So I refer a lot of people to that Apple sort of brand and how they work, how they communicate, the language that they use. And they're not cheap. You know, they're charging a premium amount of money for, and yet they're one of the fastest growing companies on the planet. And people are prepared to invest and pay more for a product that they believe in, and you know, that's what we do as a company, and all of my associate partners, we help people achieve that success.
Yeah, and branding is an essential part of that, as you
Absolutely,
say.
It is.
But one of the other big parts of your business is packaging.
It is indeed. Yeah,
you're a specialist in helping companies to get the right packaging. Talk to me a bit about what you do in that respect.
Packaging is going through a bit more of a revolution recently, and it's because of the nature of our planet and what we're doing and how we're killing our planet. So there's a huge need now to get packaging much more environmentally friendly. Even things like putting a varnish or a bit of foiling on a bit of packaging renders that pack unrecyclable now. There's technology evolving that will be able to bring that back in. But things like plastic blister cards with card inserts, and you know, those plastic blister cards are either going to landfill or they're ending up in our oceans, and that's got to change. So I'm working with quite a few clients now to help instigate that change. So we're developing not just a box of a cardboard, but a creative box, a shape that's different, or a colour, something more dynamic, something more appealing. And that's where design can come into it, and use of colour and even imagery on those boxes. I've been working with a local coffee brewing company, and we've developed this pack, and it's so beautiful and so extraordinary. We've actually trademarked this box because we're so convinced when it gets to grocer, when high street retail, people are going to want to copy it, and they're not going to copy it without us getting some reward for that. You know, the card engineering behind it is superb. It's so user-friendly, but looks really sexy on the shelf. And that's what it's about. People buy from the shelf initially what they think looks best. His product is extraordinary as well. It's recyclable coffee pods. The world is screaming out for that. We throw 50 million coffee pods a year away, if not more than that. So by having a coffee pod that's all biodegradable, the packaging's recyclable, compostable, all those sorts of things. That's where we should be going with packaging. So I'm glad that I'm involved in that. You know, I'm helping my little bit to give my children the planet that they deserve and that sort of stuff. So every little helps, they say.
Oh, it's incredible. And Drew's passion for this.
I do.
You know, I can feel the energy.
Yeah.
And I remember we had a conversation years back when we first met, and I was thinking about creating a logo for my business.
Yes.
And I think I came up with one or two of my own logo designs.
Yeah.
And you very quietly and carefully pointed out to me that, you know, if you're going to be serious about building a brand, you need a proper logo design.
It starts with your logo. You know, the word brand is a massive thing. It's your brand identity. It's your language. Your internal brand is as important as your external brand. Brand is huge. Logo is something. It's just a tiny element of that. You know, I've got a logo and it's been around for a few years. Probably needs adapting and developing myself now because of the changing world that we're in. But if you don't get that logo right to start with, and then how the elements spin off from that, what fonts you're using on your website. Years ago, you used to have a limited amount of fonts. Now you can choose from multiple fonts. The world's a faster place. The internet is faster. Our phones are faster. So we can have fonts that can carry through your website. All of your communications needs to tie in. Your logo choice, your colour choices within your logo can be echoed through. So you just need to create a bigger picture and not just see things in isolation. Had an interesting conversation with a guy this morning, a new prospect, which is nice to have today. They've been doing everything themselves internally, but they've been addressing each thing individually. And he's finally realised, he's actually quite boldly taken a step back and thought, this isn't working anymore. You know, every department is trying to do something different and they're fighting amongst themselves. So he's kindly asked me to go and meet him, look at what they're doing from an external perspective and advise him accordingly and see where it goes.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. And you won a few awards. I think we may have mentioned that earlier, the Solutions Awards.
Yes. I love the Solutions Awards because it's a national awards for anybody in the creative industry. But the thing I like about it is it's not limited to the big London agencies that have got big budgets. Yes, there's a free to enter. So that gives it an even playing field. You know, I haven't got a team of people sitting there designing purely to win awards. You know, what we do is creative and it works for our clients. And that's where, you know, when it becomes a success and the awards recognise that success, not just for me, but for my clients. And that's what the Solutions Awards is about. And I've won every year for the last 4 years, and I've won 5 awards, so I'm really pleased with that.
I'm so proud of you for that as well.
Yeah.